Aye, good morning. This is. I normally don't comment. I always comment after the game, but I don't do my sort of proper assessment till the day after. But I've always done that in whatever 15 years, 14 years I've had. The 15 years I've had the page. Because I don't do it to the next day because you calm down a bit. Like somebody triggered me we've got a huge Telegram group, as you know. Somebody triggered me and says I'm actually more angry. And reading him say that made me get more angry. I'm not having a go at the chat, but he's right. I was like, oh, man. John will be on in a bit. He's just in from work. He's messaged me to say he'll be a tad late, John. I'll be in. But do you know, I think it's a huge day for Rangers because Rangers, Kavanagh, Mr. Kavanagh will be on the phone. This is on Jim Gillespie, I think, because he told us that there was nobody else in the frame other than Derek McInnes. Listen, Derek's a thank you to the Wahen Rangers Supporters Club. Derek's a Rangers man, you all know this. But see if his name was Johan Smith and he's from Denmark, he'd be gone today, I think. What they need to do today, listen, you asked me, will they sack Rangers? Will they sack? Because I honestly don't know, but they need to make a decision. Look, I know there's a cliche of it, and it's not, when I say cliche, I don't mean that in a bad way. That being out of Europe might be a good thing. Might be a good thing. All good, mate, Alan. You know what I'm trying to say, sorry. Might be a good thing, and it might be. But it was a manner of it. There's a way to lose football matches, as we know. There's a way to lose football matches, and it wasn't that way. It's because and we throw out there, oh, we can. It's a rebuild. That's fine. So are Motherwell. So are him. So are Celtic. So are everyone else. Every football team in every league at this time of year get new players in. It doesn't mean you can't win games. I was watching that last night, and I was second guessing myself, saying, "Is there something going on in that pitch that I'm not seeing?" But it was terrible. And I tell you, I was just talking, yes, I've only got one admin guy, and it's Gary. Admin Gary, I've known Gary since 1986. Well, he lives not far from here and all that. And we were like, and I was questioning myself, is that the worst performance I've ever seen? And I'm like, it probably is. Nobody knew what they were doing and what it is. I'm one of these people, I don't say, there's nothing that makes me cringe when somebody says, you all know what I do. I don't assume that anyone knows what my life is or what I do. I know I'm sort of, not retired, but I don't do much. I've got when I go offshore, right? Okay, before I did all this full time, when I go offshore, right, I was in agency hand, which means if they needed a mechanic somewhere in the world, they'd phone up. An agency would phone up, say, "Can you go to this rig, go to that rig?" And I think the agency's normally five. I think they fire five CVs in and they pick one. And anyway, see when I join a rig, see within a few days, see if the boss is a wanker, and it's rare they are. The effort goes down. But if they're a good guy, you do that extra hour, you work through your dinner hour, you work through your lunch hour, you hang your back at an hour or two and don't stick an overtime in. And it just seems like it seems they don't care. It was one of the podcasts this morning, some of the Scouse lad who talks a lot of sense. Let's talk Rangers. I think he was at the match in the press pack and he said he saw Derek giving instructions to Chotwani, and Chotwani just looked at him as if he wasn't there. See, the recruitment's terrible, but it doesn't matter. They should not lose against a team like that. Like Lord said, especially John, he said like, it was like a pre-season game. But even at that, if we'd lost that 1-0 yesterday in a pre-season, we'd be angry. Like there's 65,000 people on my Facebook page. There's 11 players there that can beat that Rangers team now. Aye, and you know, I've been big. I've given Derek plaudits for the way he conducts himself in the media. He's a good chat. He doesn't be. Oh, there's John. There's John. How you doing, man?
Not bad. How are you?
Man, like I always do my video the day after, and so I'm not. I don't see anything reactionary. I'm more angry in the day than I was last night.
No, I'm the same, mate. I'm just looking at that and going, when the fuck is this going to get better?
Aye.
That game last night, that was like first pre-season game of the season, like when you go on tour to some training camp and you play the local hotel with the waiters and that, and you just that's the way they would piss about in a game like that. Do you know what I mean? It was absolutely ridiculous. There was no energy, no desire. God's sake, they should have been going into that game last night going, you know what, we're going out here and we're just going to absolutely annihilate this mob, get this job done and get back out of the road.
I know.
Dreadful.
Because I said before, before you come on, I was watching one of the podcasts. I think it was Let's Talk Rangers. There's a Scouse lad in it. He's I think they're one of the three lads that are brilliant. He was in the ground. And I think the way he picked up, he was in the press bit, so he was just behind the box, the dugout. And he said Derek was giving instructions to Chitwani. Chitwani just looked at him as if he wasn't there. You know, because they don't respect Derek. That's it. Because I was saying also, John, look, when I go offshore, see if I've got a boss that's a ball bag, see when they ask you to work that bit extra, you know, work through your dinner hour and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, but if it's a good boss, no bother. I'll hang back an hour or two if they're in trouble. Not that happens often because you have got a back-to-back, but you know what I mean? They don't care. And I'm trying to work out, is that the worst performance I've ever seen? I can't think of a worse one. I'm not including the lower leagues.
I can't think of a performance that was absolutely nobody. It looked as if nobody was trying on the pitch.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? It was.
I know.
I thought I take that back. Right, there was obviously one or two. I thought the big boy McCann, he was trying his best, right? But all the players running about him were just shambles. And Asgard, you're telling me he wants to play for Rangers. His body language when he came on just looked as if, oh, fuck, why am I coming on?
Absolutely. And do you know the bit that got me, John? Remember, it was like the 93rd minute before getting into injury time. We got a corner. The corner come over and it missed everybody. And it went out for a throw and they must have, 93rd minute or whatever it was, the last few seconds, the ball ended up back at the goalie. You know what I mean? That was like, what the... I mean, did Derek tell him to do that, though? That's the other thing.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't believe any coach would tell him to keep going back to the goalkeeper. That's a thing that they've obviously built into themselves. And that's their comfort. That's their way out. Get the ball.
Aye.
Don't want to do anything expressive way. Don't want to play forward. Just fuck it back to the goalie. I'm angry, man. I'm really raging.
I know, I can see. Aye. I think today's a huge day, John. I think Jim. I think this is on Jim Gillespie. I'm not putting it on Kavanagh. Jim Gillespie runs Rangers day to day. Jim Gillespie told us Derek McInnes is the man we wanted. We didn't talk to anyone else or words to that effect. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. But he's got to back his boy. He needs to get rid of him today because we've seen John. See if Derek McInnes wasn't Derek McInnes. Say it was Johan John from fucking Denmark. He'd be gone today. They'd be gone today. But because he's Derek McInnes, and what I would do, and I know probably what happened. I've been on the phone to Gerrard this morning saying, what do you want? He's got ultra carte blanche. Bring in who you want. If you want him sacked, we'll sack him. Because there's still a week of the transfer window. Gerrard can maybe lift the phone himself and say to somebody, come and play for me. Because there's no way that those players do that to Gerrard.
I think we've cooked our goose with that one. Do you know what I mean? And I think we've cooked our goose with the money we've spent. I think we've spent a lot of money.
Aye.
And there's not even any tangible signs of progress or this will work out or they'll come good.
No.
There's nothing there to suggest that.
Yeah.
And the fact that Derek McInnes last night this is a thing I didn't like. He came onto his presser and he said the only people that turned up were the coaching staff.
I couldn't believe that.
Honestly, when I heard that, I was like, mate, you're the guy responsible for all this.
Aye.
You should not be saying that.
I don't know if you know this, John. Young Curtis missed a penalty. He was inconsolable at the end.
I watched the game.
No. I'll get there. It was inconsolable after the game. He was greeting his eyes out. McInnes at the end of the game ran straight up the tunnel. He should have been straight out there to that boy to console him. And he should have took it in the chin at the end and got up to the Bears and they went. Danny Rowe did it. Russell Martin did it. Every Rangers managers took it on the chin off the Bears. He ran up the tunnel and that boy's, I don't need to explain to yourself or anyone who he is. He's a Rangers fan. He's 18-year-old. He's just missed a terrible miss because if he'd scored that, who knows? But I'm not blaming the penalty takers because it shouldn't have got to penalties. But
no,
and then what he said,
not. penalties, do you know what I mean?
Aye, we could pick 5. Alisson could score 5. Well, maybe
Yeah.
no. But that annoyed me. You're a young boy, the 18-year-old, and that's going to affect him for a while. And his manager ran straight up the tunnel. And then, like you said, when he said that his coaches were great, away boy, you're he, Derek, man. Does he last this, John?
To me, that was self-preservation. That was him fucking putting a ring of steel on himself. You know what I mean?
Aye.
So tell me this then. See if somebody comes out with that statement, right? How does he expect the players to pick their game up on Sunday at Aberdeen and put on a shift for him when he comes out and throws them under the bus like that? Don't get me wrong, the whole lot of them should have been flung under a bus last night.
Aye, I know. Let's see that. Eddie Howe's no coming to Rangers. Eddie Howe's got the choice of just about every Premier League club, the England job. Eddie Howe's no coming to Rangers. Nobody like that's coming near Rangers.
No chance he'd be near Rangers.
No. Gerrard, I mean, do you go for Gerrard? It's such an awkward one. I don't know, man. I don't know how to answer one questions.
See the thing with Gerrard, right? We've went for him since he's left, I think, twice now.
Aye.
And to go a third time, and when do you go like that? We're looking like fucking as if we're out begging with the begging ball, trying to get somebody in that, I really don't know where we go for here. I really don't.
But John, like you're saying about the begging ball, it's awful. Maybe that's just where we are.
Aye, as
you know what I mean?
But there's no way we should be sitting out of Europe, and it's not even fucking September yet. We're still in August.
I know. Like there's one thing I cling to. Like people have said, it's not. I say out of Europe, it means we can concentrate on the league and all that. But there's a way to lose games as well, and it's not like that because we're going to Aberdeen on Saturday, Sunday, should I say? Listen, it's not an Aberdeen of old, but they'll be. Who's their manager? Their manager hates us, didn't he? Who's
Stephen
the manager?
Robinson. No, I don't think he hates us. I just think he's.
Oh, he's a Rangers fan, isn't he, actually?
He'll have them fired up. Let's put it that way.
Aye. But it's like I was speaking to Gary. Stealth Gary, the only admin chap I've got, he's just there in case I get banned on. Anyway, we're talking blathering to Gary, and I've known Gary since 1986. He used to sit next to him at school. He came out with something. What was it he said as well? I've totally forgotten now. But it's like I've totally forgot what he said. But it was a good point. It'll come to me. But I mean, this isn't on the. I'm putting this on the manager, man. Because they don't respect him. There's something wrong in that dressing room. Because the one that bugs me, people say that it's a rebuild. That's fine. Motherwell are rebuilding, Aberdeen are rebuilding. Every team in football's got new players coming. It doesn't mean you can't win football matches.
Yeah.
Because the thing about getting a new manager in now, they've still got a week of a transfer.
I don't know what I can't put my finger on. I really don't know. I thought when he came in, they would.
Oh, John's frozen, or is it me?
I don't know. I think out of Europe, even if you're chasing players, you've got players lined up. You know what I mean? And then you've got no European football. A lot of them will just go, know what? I can go to X, Y, and Z, and I'll be playing in the Conference League or the Europa League.
I know.
Some of them maybe even Champions League.
I know. It's
my son. We were working the day.
Mm-hmm.
We were working the day, and my son says there's no fear factor with Rangers. Just what Ali just put up there, and he said that. Do you think anybody is scared of Rangers now when they come to Ibrox? And he's talking about Scottish teams in the Premier League. There's St Johnstone's and Dundee Uniteds and all that. I says, no, I don't think they are.
I know. And it's been like that for a while, for honest, though. And the thing is, we've got that lot twice in a week. Like I say, that's what I was talking to Gary about. Something that Rangers could do today, and I know it's not going to happen, but this is a holy, what do you call it? I don't want to say Hail Mary, but you know what I mean? You go to Bologna and say to them, how much do you want for him? And get him. Get Lewis Ferguson.
See, if you want a player that badly, right? Why are we spending 8 million on a winger, 9 million on a striker? All the money we've spent, right? If you took 2 of their fees and lumped them together to get the player that you want. And I'm looking at that now the night and going, me and my boy were talking about it today. Do you think you'll be sitting wanting to come to Rangers now?
I know. But the thing is, that's not to say that, because I still think there's another big signing to come in as in a fee. I think there's still another big fee to come, because he said we were told another 3 to 5 players. Since that comment was made, there's Penrice and these 2 lads. So that's 3. And now with what's happened today, they've got to do something, man. The thing is, John, we've seen this before. He's got a worse,
I've seen
he's
it.
got a mile. He's got a miles worse record than the wig, the haircut.
See,
I mean,
see the thing that you know, like they pulled Raskin out the squad, say that there's interest in him. See the fact that we've gone out of Europe now. I think that's going to affect Raskin's fee, what we get from him. I reckon clubs will try to lowball us now for Raskin because we're out of Europe. You know, they're probably going like, well, they've missed out on the European money, so they'll be desperate for money. Let's just throw them what the other European money is, try and get them on the cheap.
It could be that, but the thing is, we've been told though we don't need that. We don't need to sell players. But I know what you mean. Clubs will do that.
The same token, Frankie, you don't want to have a player that's unhappy on the causing trouble behind the scenes. We're bad enough without that.
I know. I mean, I'm jumping. I'm shiting it now about this Aberdeen game because you know it's the fans. How do we motivate them? Do you know who was all right? See when Miovski came on, he was not too bad. I know it was only a few minutes, but I thought you're doing all right here. But and then Shankland as well. When he lost the ball, he's walking backwards, going like that.
Yeah, I think he's no fit. He's looking as if he's carrying a bit of weight as well.
I know, but the other thing is, see when you change 3 at half time, you've got something badly wrong. And here's the other thing, John. They've had 7 days to practice, to drill, to bond, and we've gone backwards.
A million %. It's unacceptable. It's absolutely appalling last night. I just think that any team would have been out there. Partick, Thistle, you name them, out of that game. There's Motherwell. They're 3-1 down for the first leg against that Freiburg. And at least they went out last night and had a go at them. You know what I mean? We really couldn't make out what we were trying to achieve last night.
Right, see this thing about Raskin. See if he'd played and injured himself, then it's a Chermiti position. Rangers are right to keep him out after what's just happened with Chermiti, I feel. And the thing is, the reason he's out is because he has been sold, probably. If you know what I mean, it's just the humming and hawing behind the scenes. But Barry's just a McInnes, I feel. That's the other one. One shot on target, and even at that, it was a half-hearted thing, but I'm not saying it was half-hearted. He just couldn't get any purchase on it when Chukwani had that header. We never made a goalkeeper that's probably semi-amateur. We didn't make him work. It's fucking so annoying, man.
Terrible.
I mean, we've put up with this shite for 15 years, and right, I hate when people say I told you so. My thing is, I would rather have Gerrard come, but I was all right with McInnes coming because it was his turn, so to speak. I know in hindsight, but I never saw this happening. I never saw. Is the suit too heavy for him?
I've really struggled with when the Americans were coming in just before they took over Rangers. Right, we were all getting excited. This was it. We were going to, excuse me, have a lot of money pumped into the club. We wouldn't need to worry about this and that. We could go and buy players. We could develop our own players. Do all these good things. And every decision, somebody said today, every major decision that these guys have made, they've absolutely balls it up. Every single one. For Russell Martin to Thelwell, all the way through. And look where we're sitting. This is us now, and we're second full season now. Getting into our second full season with them.
To be fair, Thelwell and Martin were the previous CEOs. What was his name? That was
Patrick
him.
Stewart.
That was him. He was given, because he was in before the Americans came in, and I think, well, right, okay, you do your thing, but I know. But I mean, they've got us out the suit, but they've got it wrong. But they just hope. Do you think Rangers make it? Do you think there's a sit down today?
I think there's got to be. I think. Well, I think there'll be. If Andrew Kavanagh, I reckon, will be speaking to Derek McInnes today. If only just to say, how do you see yourself getting the team out of this? When do you see us getting out of it? Because let's be honest with you, we turn around and we say we can't keep sacking managers, blah blah blah, and we're all under the thing that Andrew Kavanagh won't sack him and all that. See if the stadium's empty and there's nobody turning up, he'll get sacked.
I know.
He'll get sacked. And he knows that. He said that in day one when he came in for his first press conference.
He's a Rangers fan. He knows the score. Aye. But look, Gerrard can't. Right, but this is like James's comment here. If Gerrard, what they would need to do is say to Gerrard, look, what you want, we'll give you. you know, if you want Thelwell gone, he's gone. You know, if you need to pay the millions to pay him off, so be it. It's I don't know, man. You're sitting here without. I mean, Jim Gillespie's his job's in the line. You know, I mean, he told us Derek McInnes was the man. You know, and he's come out. He's been quite vocal with that big Glaswegian strong. I'm not slagging a Glaswegian accent off, and at all that's come out wrong. But you know what I mean? It's, I don't know, but there's certainly. I mean, what time's that now? What time's it in UK? 9 in the morning. I don't know if they'll. I'm pretty sure. So what time's that in the States? That's I'm about 12. I think he lives in Spain, mind you. But anyway, there'll be phone calls being made this morning. There'll be a Zoom call or all that.
So. I reckon.
I mean, I don't think McInnes will be involved in it. I think it's do we keep him?
No, I think he's obviously got to report. He's got to report to them into what's happening with the team and all that. So I don't know. He's got a big 3-4 weeks coming up. Aberdeen away Sunday. We've got Falkirk, and then we've got the double header with Celtic.
I know. And there was are we too impatient? No, it's not that. It's that we're not seeing anything to make us look better. With the St Mirren game, which was all right, but then yesterday, what's your name? Sorry, Nick. That's the worst football match I've ever seen Rangers play. That's the thing. And there's no desire. They did not give a shit about Derek McInnes. They don't give a flying fuck about him. That's the thing. They don't care what he said. Like I said, he was giving instructions to players and all. I don't know, ignoring them. I mean, it's not. I remember I watched Charlie Miller. I think it was Charlie Miller said on Ricky's All About the Jazz podcast. He said there was times we get instructions either off water, but we went and done our own thing and we won. There wasn't even a look at that as if they ignored him and did well. You know, they just ignored him. And I never bother about how much players are getting paid. There's fans there. Some of them won't go home till Sunday. They're paid a lot of money. It's the arse end of nowhere. Probably a really good trip up till the game started.
Yeah.
They're paying a lot of money, and it's a night. I mean, there's talk about 6-hour coach journeys to airports and all this. But Derek said the coaches were good. The coaching staff done well. Yeah.
Well, I don't see it on the pitch.
No.
Sorry, I don't see it.
I know. Look, John, I was watching that again. I know we've all watched. I'm watching that, and it was that bad. I was second guessing myself. I said, "Is there something happening here that I'm not reading?" You know what I mean? And the thing is, see the first half. The first half was pish, but we weren't going to lose a goal. So why bring 3 players on? Because when you bring 3 players on, that means you've made a mistake. Danny used to bring 3 players on, but that was in the 60th minute. But that was a fitness thing. That was a thing to bring 3 guys on that had the legs to go for the last half hour. And that's common now. But when you make 3, and it was the formations as well. Like, what's happening here?
Could it not be that see the guys that went off at half time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it not a case that they've gone in the dressing room and said, "You need to take me off, I'm knackered," or whatever? I'm no, you know. I don't know if there's players in there asking to come off, or pulling the old off, feel my hamstring. You know what I mean? No interested in it.
I know. This lot, right? The volume's going to turn up about these two as well, Purdy and Thelwell. That's going to. I mean, let's be honest. There's probably a couple of good players I've brought in, but in a grand scale of thing, that name Thelwell, get him away from fucking Rangers, man. He should have went with his old man.
We're a support now, though, that we moaned about Ross Wilson when he was here. We basically hounded him out the door. We went on and on about him until he left. But when you think back to his tenure as a recruitment head of recruitment or sport director, whatever he was, we signed some really good players. He got some really good players in there. You know what I mean? So there's players out there, and there's structures that can get put in place, but you need, at least like everything else, you need the right person to do it. And we've just got two guys. I think they've been handy contracts, and I would love to see the contracts.
I know. I mean, there's something in there that we need to pay them 10 million quid or something like that. I know. And Penrite's greeting and all, man. I mean, that's Rangers, man. I just want to read this one. And Derek McInnes should have been out there consoling him, and he didn't. It was just. And Connor Barron was there. Connor Barron as well.
He was terrible last night.
I know. I think he'd a high season last year, but before that he wasn't that good when he came to us either. But
I know, but see, when you think about it, right, there was all this transfer talk for him. You know, like he's go and find yourself a club and all that shit. And then we're wanting to throw him in to try and win us the game. I know he's still getting wages, but you've got to think of the psyche in it. You know what I mean?
I know. I say it's going to be an end. I'm going to be overdosing in Red Bull tonight because I'll be waiting till about 7-8 o'clock tonight on a Friday just in case it's a press release.
Absolutely, mate.
At 8 o'clock.
I got up at 1:15 in the morning last night to watch that shite.
No,
and I actually said, I hope this game gets decided and doesn't go to extra time so that I could go back to my bed for an hour before I went to work. And there it was, extra time and penalties.
I think I think he's from Troon. It's Matt, are you Barry's cousin? You're Barry Irvin's cousin. I think this chap's from Troon. I'm not going to give his family. He's from a good golf family in Troon. It's just, I don't know where we go from here because we can't keep sacking players, but we can't have a manager that delivers the worst performance in Rangers history. At my age, like we're old farts. I've never seen anything like that, and I'm getting more and more angry, man.
I've seen real bad so-called bad Rangers teams, but what they did have was they tried and they had a bit of spirit about them. You know, John Gregg's team was one of the teams. They would go in and they would dig it out with teams. You know what I mean? They would have they might, one of the best football team, but they would be physical with them and they would play for the jersey. These guys aren't even playing for the. I don't even think that. I can't understand that. I don't see why you go to a football pitch and just stroll about that pitch as if you don't give a shit.
I know there was no urgency. There was no getting back to forwards quickly. No, they don't look fit. And the thing is, see that other team, they were crap. But I tell you what, they worked hard. They all played to a system that their gaffer had obviously told them, and they worked hard and they knew what everyone's job was. And they were poor.
They played well. They passed the ball well, right? And see, if they had a finisher, I would have been about 4 or 5 nothing last night. The one the big boy misses in the first half, he hits the side net, and if he sticks that in the other corner, they're one up straight away.
See, we're talking about eggy farts. Listen, here's how childish I am. I buy a fart. Listen to this. I use that as a stress ball, a fart thing. And I got it. When I'm out with my daughter in the 7-Eleven, I do it just embarrass her. 52 years old. But I don't know. Right, John, if I have to put you in the spot, does Derek McInnes get sacked today?
Oh.
Everyone in the comments, take a second before you comment, ladies and gentlemen. Does McInnes lose his job today?
No, I'm going to say no. I don't think so either. Right. What I'm going to say though is he's not got long to turn that around because, as I say, Aberdeen, Falkirk, I think we've got Motherwell and them. I've got the double header with Celtic.
I know. I keep going back to it, but there's nothing to show us. I mean, how much is on the players? How much is on him? But that's my point, John. If Gerrard was in that dressing room as a manager, they wouldn't have performed like that for Gerrard because they would have respect for him. I think it's a respect thing. You don't give a fuck about Derek. See, that's the thing, and it's like Alisson said. Have they chucked it already? And that's what seven competitive games. And
what it looks to me is, for the past few seasons, the players have been running the dressing room. They've been telling the manager what's going to happen. You know, you've seen it with Clement, Danny Rowe, Russell Martin. And Russell Martin, nobody wanted Russell Martin, and he was an absolute flop. But you've got to look at it now and go, well, what if he was getting the same out of the players? You know, and he was just, what can anybody do in that situation?
I know. I mean, all day it's been doing my nutting. It's a big day for Rangers. And the thing is, the club can't come out and back him. Jim Gillespie or Kavanagh can't come out and say, oh, Derek's keeping the job. That's the dreaded vote of confidence. But, John, see, in reality, Derek's not here at Christmas. I can't see it. He's not here by Christmas. I can't see it for... There's nothing saying he can turn this around. All right, we've not got midweek football, but I don't know, man.
Well, they've got to be sitting there, right? Where we've, obviously the day succession planning. If this guy leaves, then he's the guy we'll go and get. You know what I mean? They must be sitting there with a list. and gone like that. You know what? Let's keep an eye on this.
I know. The thing is, it's not a silly point. But this is a level we're at. People don't want to come to Rangers. That's the thing. That's what people don't realise. People don't want. We're still scarfed in the last 15 years, and now this is happening again. And any other manager that we approach, if we get rid of Derek today, said, "You've just sacked him after 7 games." What? Who wants to come? Who wants to come? In that, listen, there'll always be somebody who wants to be the manager of Rangers, but it'll be somebody.
There'll still be guys out there, because let's face it, if you get the sack, they're going to have to pay you. You're going to, you'll still get decent money for whatever you've done.
I know,
and that's maybe one of the problems, that they know that they come in here and they fail. Football's a great game for rewarding failure. You know, these guys that they end up getting sacked out the club. There's your payoff. Don't take another job for 3 months, and then all of a sudden they're into another job, and it just goes on.
I know. See, this is the frightening thing. Look, we can Celtic, because if we lose at the weekend, that's us how many points behind? 7 or 8 points behind. That's 2.5 wins behind at this stage of the season. We're not catching that.
No,
we're not catching that.
No.
I know. It's Lampard. I know. And he's not leaving Coventry. Like, I think they won last week, didn't they? No, they get got by Arsenal.
No, they get beat.
But, aye. But he's not leaving. He's in a. That's Lampard's now on that. He's done his time. He's staying in big teams from now on. He's not coming to us. But it's we need a Walter Smith. Derek was supposed to be a Walter Smith. Let's be honest, because he played under him. Yeah. But it's what's Adam saying? Adam lives out. Adam, I've got your teacup here. Thank you. The one Adam kindly sent me that a good few months ago. But it's man, I don't know, man. Oh right, here's an old fart. What's the old fart saying? That was awful. We had terrible performances. Yeah, this is it. Aye. That's it. There's a way to lose, isn't there?
Yeah. 100%. Can't disagree with one.
Well, what's it? Grant, a good shout, Grant. You're bang on there, man. Walter will return. There's no. I know he's not anywhere near Walter Smith. No, he's supposed to be that from that train of thought. Just went ugly, because Walter Smith didn't play good football, no matter what people say. From the start. Well, I've got no idea what you're saying. Oh, you can fuck off. I know, but I know. Do you know what? Last night I had it was. What's it? He posts all the time. I wake up in the morning. I thought, this will take a while to go through. He said, "There's a load of Tims on your page." So I looked through it, and I spent 15 minutes looking for people, but because somebody put a laughing smiley under them, so I just blocked the cunt. You're messaging me because somebody laughed at you. I've got that set up so nobody can. Tims can't comment. And here's the thing: I've just gone through 65,000 followers. Normally, I'd put up a thank you for that. Today's not the day for that. You know what I mean? It's but what I have noticed, there's a lot of Tims following the page so they can comment. But the thing is, I'm getting nothing to do all day, so it's block. But yeah, let's take a tiny positive, John. The South African boy, he does look at good football. See, remember he's Maisie. Remember he's Maisie right? He's Maisie run down the left wing.
Aye. I noticed him last night a couple of times trying to cheer him up a bit at the back. There was a couple of times last night. You see him, he was pissed off. You could tell he was pissed off. The players running about him.
Aye, and the goalie, that was going to be one of my comments till it all went to rat shit. It was, I think, somebody lost it as we on the telly. It was over the far side when the other team was shooting to the left. The goalkeeper was going mental at some day as well. And I thought, good to see.
Yeah.
By the way, Tim here, all I see is block. That guy just said I'm a Tim. Good. Well, you're not
I'm the same on our club Facebook page as well. For some reason, it just whatever you put on it gets into their feeds for some reason.
All right, okay, bye. You can go. No, he did not have a fantastic start. Oh, that's Ali. Ali, he did not have a fantastic start to the season. It's been terrible. Oh, you meant that? I don't know what
Danny Rose
Ali.
talking about.
All right, he had a terrible start. Oh, Danny Rowe, right? Okay, right. Sorry. Ali, aye. And Ali sent us a screen grab last night while I was on live of a new. He said a new signing coming in, but it was from 4 hours before. I nearly stopped the podcast with thingy that was on to bloody check it. She's brilliant. But right, John, I'm going to knock this in the head, man, because I'm just
All right,
getting angry, and I'm going for a beer. Right, thanks for coming on. Thanks for
All right,
listening,
buddy.
everyone.
You take it
Cheers.
easy, and let's see
You too, John.
what we turn up with either today in a press conference or what
Yeah.
we do on Sunday at Aberdeen.
I know. Right, I'll see you later,
All right.
John. Cheers, everyone.
See you,
Bye.
bye.